So welcome all to our CCC Book Club Masters. Hope you are all doing good. So let us go into our session. So let us just give you a small recap what has happened in the last few days. So we are reading this book called Third Eye. This is a story about Lobsang Rampa. This book started when Lobsang Rampa was 4 years old. So he had a nanny who was called Orzu. Lobsang Rampa, he had trouble riding his pony. And then we also looked about his schooling, about his physical activities, what they do at school. We also looked about his home, what it is. And he also described about the Lhasa, how it is, its beauty. Yeah. And then we also seen that about a procession, a ritual, which is supposed to take place before Lobsang Rampa turns 7 years old. The astrologers would predict what his future is going to be. We also seen that it's a huge, big a thing over there. And there were so many celebrations, feast, many guests involved. So then finally they predicted his future. He's going to be a priest surgeon. So he has to go to Lamasery to become a monk, and then he'll be a priest surgeon. Surgeon means specialization in one of the field which he would choose. So he's a doctor by profession. So he would be a doctor. And then so now we have seen for the last few days let me see who's on. Okay, muted them. Okay, so we have seen for the last few days how his emotions are when he is supposed to leave his home, and how he abid all. There are fables. Not too emotional fables, because his father did not want it to be like that. So then later his father said, what is of last his words of his father for him. So you have to get admitted into this Lamasery, otherwise don't come back. That was the words from his father. So with that, our Lobsang Rampa started to leave his home. So now let me share my screen so that we all can see this book and read along. Let me know, masters, if you can see my screen. Yes, give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Yes, okay, thank you, Gautam. Okay. So now let's see. At the temple gates, it's a chapter 4. We are already into the chapter 4. It's quite interesting. Let's see. The road led straight ahead to Chakpori, Lamasery, the temple of Tibetan medicine. A hard school, this. I walked the miles as the day grew lighter, and at the gate leading to the entrance compound, I met 2 others who also desired admission. So he said, finally, I'm at this Chakpori Lamasery. So that is the name of the Lamasery he would be admitted into. That is the temple of Tibetan medicine. Okay. So he said, apart from me, there are also 2 others. We verily means we cautiously looked each other over. And I think that none of us was much impressed by what we saw in the others. So there are it was not too much of excitement that I can say. We decided that we would have to be sociable if we were going to endure the same training. So like we have to be good. Like if you're going to be in the same training, if you're going to have the same training. For some time, we knock timidly. Timidly means cowardly. So for some time, we knocked timidly and nothing happened. Then, so this knocked like on the doors of this, on the gates of this lamaseries. Then one of the others stooped. Then one of the others stooped and picked up. 1 second, masters. Thank you. From some, okay. For some time, we knocked timidly and nothing happened. Then one of the others stooped and picked up a large stone and really did make enough noise to attract attention. So one of the other, there are two more kids, right? Like they took one of the stone and they made some noise so that to grab the attention, because no, they are being noticed by no one. So they're thinking, at least if you do some kind of noise, someone, then they will look at us. A monk appeared, waving a stick with which to our frightened eyes looked as a large as young tree. So it's like they're telling like he's like so tall. He's looking like a young tree. Okay, that's what the comparison Lobsang Rampa is making us so that we can understand. So here, what do you young devils want? He said. He exclaimed. Do you think that I have nothing better to do than answer the door such as you? We want to be monks, I replied. You look more like monkeys to me, he said. Wait there and do not move. The master of the acolytes will see you when he is ready. So with the noise they made by the stone, by the stone. So this monk has come, like you can say like a security guard. Like these monks are also have different posts. Now this monk is acting like a security guard for them for the lamasery. So he's telling like, now why are you making this kind of sounds? Don't you think I don't have any time like just to watch and reply to whatever you guys are here? Then he's telling like, wait there, hold on there. So whenever this master of the acolytes means head of the monks is there, when he's ready, I'll call you. The door slammed shut and nearly knocking one of the other boys flat on his back, he having moved incautiously near. So he's telling like, he with the noise, he probably opened the door and he answered this, and then he shut the door so that the one of the other boy was there. He was about to fall down. That was a force he used to close the door. We sat upon the ground. Our legs were tired with standing. So I was like, I was so tired of standing throughout the day. So we thought like we'll sit on the ground. People came to the lamasery and went. So many people were coming to this lamasery and they're going back. The pleasant smell of food was wafted to us through a small window, tantalizing us with the thought of satisfying our growing hunger. Food so near, yet so utterly unattainable. Is telling like, the smell of the food is coming. It's so yummy. It's so delicious. We are able to smell it. But what to do? We can't get it. We are so hungry. But we are able to smell it, but we don't have that fortune to have that food. At last, the door was flung open with violence, and a tall, skinny man appeared in the opening. Well, he roared, and what do you miserable scamps want? So here scamps means like these evil kids, like that's what he meant. So the head of the monkey has come and he said, like, what do you want? We want to be monks, we said. Goodness me, he exclaimed. What garbage is coming to the lamasery nowadays? He's telling like, nowadays, what is happening to this lamasery? What kind of boys are coming here? That's what he meant. He beckoned us to enter the vast walled enclosure. He beckoned us, he asked us to come. Okay, come inside, which was the perimeter of the lamasery grounds. They entered, finally, somehow they entered the lamasery grounds. He asked us, what we were, who we were, and even why we were. He was asking the questions: who, what, why. We gathered without difficulty that he was not at all impressed with us. We are sure from his facial features, expressions, we are sure that monk is not at all impressed by us. He's not liking, that's what Rampa is saying to us. To one, so one of the kid is, there are now totally three kids are there. So one is to one, the son of a herdsman, he said, a herdsman, he said, enter quickly. If you can pass your test, you can stay. So he's like, this one is like who would look after the animals, herdsman. So he's one of the son of a herdsman. Okay. So so one got admitted. He said like, okay, enter quickly. If you pass the test, you will. Okay. Next to the next. You boy, what did you say? Son of a butcher? Butcher, like who cut meat, a cutter up of flesh, a transgressor of the law of Buddha, and you come here. So it's like cutting meat is sin, isn't it? I mean, because killing animals, that's what. It's like you're a transgressor of law of Buddha, and you come here. Be off with you quickly, or I will have you flogged around the road. So go quickly, otherwise I will hit you to move, to run around the ground. The poor wretched boy, forgot his tiredness. This poor boy, he forgot his tiredness in a sudden burst of speed. As the monk lunged at him, he started running inside. So two boys got admitted. Wheeling in a flash, he leaped forward, leaving little scuffs of disturbed dust as his feet touched the ground in his hurry. Okay. Now I was left alone on my 7th birthday. So today, that day was the 7th birthday. On his birthday, see, he has no parents, he is just left alone, and now he is in the lamasery. Visualize how it would be for a 7-year-old boy. Okay, I think now if you visualize, you can connect easily, masters. Like think, like how visualize. And now the gaunt monk turned his fierce gaze in my direction, almost causing me to shrivel on the spot with the fright. He's telling like, okay, I was so scared that this monk hasn't very, like I was fearful. It was so, I was fearful because of his gaze, means because of his eye, with the staring at me. I was frightened. He twitched his stick menacingly, means like he was threateningly, he was twisting his stick, like, I mean, like to make sure like someone will threaten someone, like showing like that kind of tactic. It's kind of tactic. Okay. And you, what have we here? Oh, a young prince who wants to turn religious. We must see what you're made of first, my fine fellow. See what kind of stuffing you have. This is not the place for soft and pampered princelings. So he's telling like, what? You said you are a prince, isn't it? Princeling. So he's telling like, we have to see how good you are to enter to this lamasery. It's not so easy. That's what he's telling. Take 40 paces backwards. Take 40 steps backwards and sit in a height of contemplation, like inside, like meditation kind of thing, like a daydreaming, like you have to open and sit like just sit like that. Contemplation until I tell you otherwise, and do not move an eyelash. She's telling like, don't dare to even move your eyelids. Okay. With that, he turned abruptly, suddenly, and went away. He just walked away. Sadly, I picked up my pathetic little bundle. So he had some kind of one extra robe in that bundle, and his saddles, and his shoes, I guess, and took the 40 steps back. On my knees, I went, then sat cross-legged as commanded. So I sat throughout the day, unmoving. So he's telling like, I stood there without moving. The dust blew against me, forming little mounds in the clips of my upturned hands. piling on my shoulders and lodging in my hair. He's telling like it's very windy, so the dust was blowing against me, and like that I was covered with dust. As the sun began to fade, my hunger, as the sun began to fade, means like the sun is fading, means it's gradually the sunset, it's about to sunset. That's what it means. It began to fade. My hunger increased, and my throat was wracked with harshness of thirst. For I, the wracked means it's like it was affected. It needs more water. He's feeling hungry and he's feeling thirsty. For I had no food or drink since the first fight of dawn. Yeah, in the before the first rays of dawn, he started moving from home. He reached the Lama city and he was waiting throughout the day. And after some time, he was admitted into this into the grounds. And then now he is sitting there till now. It is being it's sunset, almost sunset. But he did not drink or eat anything. It is his birthday. Passing monks, and there were many, took no heed. No heed means they did not take any account of him. There were many monks passing here and there, but no one took account of me. Wandering dogs paused a while to sniff curiously. Then they too went away. Even the dogs did not bother about me. Now, a gang of small boys came past. One idly flipped a stone in my direction. It struck the side of my head and caused the blood to flow. He's telling like there was a group of boys who came near to me and crossing, and they flipped a stone. They threw a stone at me, and I got stuck here, and the blood was flowing. But I did not stir. I did not move. I was afraid to. If I failed my endurance test, means my patience test, my father would not allow me to enter what had been my home. There was nowhere for me to go. He's telling like, I don't have any place. If I'm afraid to even to just move and to touch it, like I do not have that kind of daredness with me, because if I move, then I'll fail. Then there is no home, or I don't have admission in Lamasri, then that's it, I'm gone. Nothing that I could do. I could only remain. So now they are surrendering. He's in a surrendering mode. He's accepting whatever happens. I'm not going to move. That is what he took from like he was so adamant about it. I could only remain motionless, aching in every muscle, stiff in every joint. Say, remember, masters, like if you're sitting just like this crossing your legs and sitting idly without moving anything, not even your, that's what monk said, like not even your eyelids. I mean, you can, but it's like just kind of telling like you should not move. That what it meant. So like just sitting without moving anything, not even your head. How would be by the end of the day you feel like your body is tight, your muscles are aching. If you now our body needs movement, isn't it? So the sun hid behind the mountains and the sky became dark. So now it has become dark. The stars shone bright against the blackness of the sky. I'm able to see the stars as well because it was too dark. From the lamasery windows, thousands of little butter lamps flickered. Means thousands of butter lamps were lighted into the flame. A chill wind, the leaves of the willows, means the leaves of the trees, bushes, hissed and rattled. Hissed means like they were making some kind of um, uh, sounds, and rattle means like a sudden movement of the because of the air. There was sudden movement. Okay, and about me there were all faint sounds which go to make the strange noises of the night. So he's sitting all alone in the dark without moving there. Even it is dark, no one are there around. Okay, I still remained motionless for the strongest of reasons. What is the reason? Because he has to get admission no matter what. He wants to get admitted into this lamasery. That was the only thing. So I was too frightened to move and I was very stiff. Presently came the soft swash of approaching monk's sandals slithering over the gritty way. Means one of the monk was approaching, or gritty way means the road is full of rock, I mean small pebbles kind of thing. It's not smooth surface. The steps of an old man feeling his way in the darkness. So this old monk is coming. A form looped up before me. Means a form was visible clear before me. The form of an old monk bent and gnarled with the passage of austere years. Gnarled means he was twisted with the age. I mean, he was not straight like how we are. He was little drooped, and he was not as because of his age. He was twisted means he was bent. You could say like that. Um, his hand shook with age, a matter of some concern to me when I saw that he was spilling the tea he was carrying in one hand. He saw like he had some tea in his hand and he was spilling because he did not have that stamina to hold that tea. Okay. At first, I made no move to take them. So in the other hand, in the other hand, he held a small bowl of sampa. He passed them to me. He was asking him to take. Okay, he was giving a bowl of tea, a bowl of sampa and a cup of tea. At first, I made no move to take them. He was thinking, okay, I'm not going to take them because probably it is also a test. Diving in my thoughts, he said, I means this old man was able to read my mind. um, Take them, my son, for you can move during the hours of darkness. So he said, like, okay, relax, my son. So during the darkness, it's okay, you can move. That is the rule here. That's what he is telling. So I drank the tea and transferred the sampa to my own bowl. The old man said, now sleep, but at the first rays of the sun, take your stance. Take your stance means take your position, take your same position. Stands here in the same position, for this is a test and it's not the wanton cruelty. Wanton means it's not like in order to give you pain or something. It's not like that. Don't think about it. Don't think like that. But it's kind of a test which you may now consider it to be. You might think like it's a cruelty, like how harsh can they be, like an 7 years old boy. But it is a test, my dear son. The old man is telling him. Only those who pass this test can aspire to the higher ranks of your order. So he's telling like only whoever have this patience and the stamina to go through this kind of harshness of test, and they can go to the higher ranks. Means um, in this Lama series, they can move to this other higher positions. With that, he gathered up the cup and the bowl and went away. So because Lobsang drank the tea and he transferred the sampa to his bowl and he gave back this emptied bowl. So he took that old man took this bowl and he went away. I stood and stretched my legs, then lay upon my side and finished the sampa. He was lying on his side and he was eating, so lying down and he's eating his sampa. Now, and he finally finished it. Now I was really tired. So scooping a depression in the ground to accommodate my hip bone and placing my spare robe beneath my head, I lay down. He's telling like, finally, I slept. My 7 years had not been easy years. He's telling like my 7 years, he's born and he's only 7 years. These 7 years are not at all easy. At all times, father had been strict, frightfully strict, but even so, this was my first night away from home, and the whole day had been spent in one position, hungry, thirsty, and motionless. He's telling like these 7 years from the so it was it was very hard, and I was frightful to my father. Like I was so scared about my father because he was so strict. Now I'm being away from home And I'm sitting here in the same position, feeling hungry, thirsty, and without moving. I have to sit here. I had no idea of what the morrow would be. Morrow means tomorrow. What the morrow would bring, or what more would be demanded of me. He's telling like, I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what the tests or what kind of situations might come in to would test my patience. That's what it means. But now I had to sleep alone beneath the frosty sky, alone with my terror of the darkness, alone with my terrors of the days to come. He's telling, but now I have to sleep alone in this darkness, in like beneath the sky. There is nothing else. Like he was in the ground. There is nothing else in there was sky on above him, and he has to sleep in the darkness alone with the terrors of the days to come. He's thinking what kind of days are about to come. I don't know. He's thinking, and he slept. It seemed that I hardly closed my eyes before the sound of a trumpet awakened me. He's telling, I slept meagerly, like then this trumpet sound, they blew the trumpet. Opening my eyes, I saw that it was a false dawn with the first light of the approaching day reflected against the skies behind the mountains. Instantly, now it's getting again the first ray of sun is coming, so it's like about to get started to get the sun is about to rise. So hurriedly I sat up and resumed the posture of contemplation. He again sat in kind of in the stillness, in the meditative posture, you can say, but with his eyes open. Okay. Gradually, the lamasery ahead of me awoke to life. So the he's telling it came into the life. Everyone are getting up. That's what he meant. First, there had been the air of a sleeping town, a dead inert hulk. First, there was no disturbance at all. Next, a gentle sighing as of a sleeper awakening. Now he is able to see some kind of sounds. When a sleeping person awakes, we make some kind of sounds, right? It grew to a murmur and developed a deep hum, like the drone of bees on a hot summer's day. Occasionally, there was a call of a trumpet, like a muted chirp on a distant bird, and the deep growl of a conch, like a bullfrog calling in a marsh. He's comparing everything, like with a trumpet sound, is like comparing with a bird, and with a conch sound. That is also kind of a instrument, a musical, like it's a shell kind of thing, conch sound. He's comparing with a bullfrog. So he's telling, as the light increased, little groups of shaven heads passed and repassed behind the open windows. He's telling like all the monks are bald headed, because that is the rule, because we have to shave our heads if you're supposed to be in lamasery. Windows which in the earlier pre-dawn light had looked like the empty eye sockets of a clean picked skull. Okay, the day grew older and I grew stiffer. Poor Rampa. So he's telling, he's sitting. He's becoming stiff because all his muscles are like, because he's not used to sit for so long. So his everything is getting numb. But I dared not to move. I dared not fall asleep. So he's telling, I'm very careful. I'm very keenful about, like, I'm not supposed to move, or I'm not supposed to sleep. For if I moved and failed my test, then I had nowhere to go. He had this goal in his life, like now, because goal, or you can also say this kind of fear within him, that he does not have any place other than this. Apart from this lamasery, he don't have any choice. So he has to just accept whatever they are going to say. He has to pass it. Otherwise, he can't even think about the situation. That's what he does not even dare. Father had made it very clear that if the lamasery did not want me, then nor did he. Yeah, that's what we have discussed. Little groups of monks came out of the various buildings, going about their mysterious businesses. Okay, there was a group of monks doing some kind of things. Small boys wandered around, sometimes kicking a shower of dust and small stones in my direction, or making ribald remarks. He's telling like these they're making some kind of rude remarks. That's what it means. So they were throwing, like they were kicking the stones or dust up at him. But he was not at all. He did not move. Okay. As there was no response from me, they soon tired of the about you sport and went away in search of more cooperative victims. He said, like they were trying his patience, but I did not move. So they stopped kicking this mud and they went to search, I mean, to see if some other boys are there so that they could go and disturb them. Gradually, as the light at eventide began to fail, this is the second day again. Okay, after his birthday, this is his first day. So it's so now this is the second day in the lamasery, sitting at the same spot. Okay, masters. Gradually, as the light at the eventide began to fail, the little butter lamps again flickered into life within the lamasery buildings. Soon the darkness were relieved merely by the faint star glow, for this was the time when the moon rose late. He's telling this today the moon rose very late. Ina saying the moon was now young and could not travel fast. So probably it's like it's the moon, we know, right? Like the brightness keep increasing day by day. So it's like this is now it's a small, it's a new moon. That's what there's a new young moon. I became sick with the apprehension. Was I forgotten? Was this another test? One in which I had to deprive of all food? Throughout the long day, I had not stirred. Now I was faint with hunger. He's telling, now I'm feeling fainting because this is second day. Yesterday he sat in the from the morning till night, and that night they gave some food. But today again from morning they did not give any food. Now it's already night, and that too this today night the moon came very late. So he's telling, like, is this a test? Like having making me to feel hungry and having me to faint. I mean, because he's feeling giddiness because he's not used to without food, isn't it? Suddenly hope flared in me and I almost jumped to my feet. There was shuffling noise and a dark outlined approach. Then I saw that it was a very large black mastiff dragging something along. He suddenly saw some sound and he thought, like, oh, someone is coming. But to his dismay, like he's telling, like it is a mastiff. It's a dog who just came, but he took no notice of me, but went on his nocturnal mission and quite uncaring of my plight. So he's telling, like, even this dog did not care about me. Plight means it's like it's about my situation, my problematic situation. My hopes fell. I could have wept. He's telling, like, I was very, I mean, he's very sad that he's about to cry. That's what he meant. To prevent myself being so weak, I reminded myself that only girls and women were as stupid as that. So he's telling, this is about Nankina from, it's like about 100,000 years back, isn't it? Yeah. So, 100 years back, sorry, it's about 100 years back. So to prevent myself being so weak, I reminded myself that only girls and women are as stupid as that. But I think from Crystal Children Corner we know that, like, all anyone can let out their emotions, isn't it, masters? But here we will see how this book goes on. Okay, at least I heard the old man approaching. So now finally I am really little relieved because he's hearing some old man is approaching. This time he gazed more benignly upon me and said, benignly means in a kindful manner. He has bent down kindfully and said, food and drink, my son, but the end is not yet. He's telling, this is not the end of your test. There is still the morrow. He's telling, there is also tomorrow. So take care that you do not move, for so very many fail at the 11th hour. So he's telling, like, many of them, they will fail at this 11th hour. So be very careful tomorrow. That's what he said. With those words, he turned and went away. While he was speaking, I had drunk the tea and again transferred the sampa to my own bowl. Again, I lay down, certainly no happier than the night before. As I lay there, I wondered at the injustice of it. I did not. He's thinking as he ate his food and he drank his cup of tea. Then he lay down and he was thinking, how injustice is it? It's so injustice because his father is a millionaire and he has to become a monk. He did not have any choice. He did not want to become a monk. He is okay, but he did not have any choice because the astrologers had predicted that you will become a priest surgeon. So they want him to go here and get an admission. That's what they're saying. I had no more choice than so I did not want to be a monk of any sect, shape, or size. I had no more choice than a pack animal being driven over a mountain pass. And so I fell asleep. So with these thoughts, pondering in his mind, he slept nicely. I mean, okay, with the sleep he could. The next day, the third day, as I sat in my attitude of contemplation again, sitting again, but the first dawn of the light, he would again sit in the contemplation. So means like in the meditative posture, but with opened eyes. I could feel myself becoming weaker and giddy. He's feeling like he's becoming weak. The lamasery seemed to swim in a miasma compounded of buildings, bright colored lights, purple patches with mountains and monks liberally inter interpersed with a interpersed. He's telling like about these buildings and everything he was able to see. With a determined effort, I managed to shake off this attack of vertigo. He's telling like with my determination, vertigo means is this dizziness, having this giddiness, like I'm feeling like he's telling like even though however dizziness it is, I have to stay tight. Otherwise I will fail. So I don't have any place to go. So I have to sit. I have to get admission into it. Really frightened me to think that I might fail now. After all the suffering I had. By now, the stones beneath me seemed to have grown knife edges which chaffed me in inconvenient places. So remember, masters, the ground is not a soft one. It's not a smooth surface. It's like on the pebbles he's sitting 2 days. This is the third day he's sitting. So he's feeling that kind of pokiness. He's feeling the pain. In one of my lighter moments, I thought how glad I was that I was not a hen hatching eggs and compelled to sit even longer than he's even in this. So that's what like he is bringing the humor even in this kind of situation. Like he's telling like at least it's okay. At least I'm not a hen. Otherwise, if a hen want to hatch it eggs, it has to sit for so many days. At least I'm a human being. I'm glad for it. That's what he's feeling. So remember to recollect like whatever the happiness things which you have, you just get those kind of happiness so that you can again get back your strength. Okay, master, that's what he's using here. The sun seemed to stand still. The day appeared endless, but at long last, the light began to fail, and the evening wind commenced to play with a feather dropped by a passing bird. Once again, the little lights appeared in the windows one by one, one by one. She's telling like again the sun set, again the sun has set, and the birds uh, to play with the feather dropped by passing a bird. Like all the birds are going away to their home, and they started to light these butter lamps in the lamasery. Hope I die tonight. I thought he's thinking, I think I'll die tonight. Can't stick any more of this. Just then he's telling, I can't take it anymore. I'm feeling very tired. He's telling. Just then the tall figure of the master of the acolytes appeared in the distant doorway. He's telling. Then as soon as that he saw a tall figure, like he's the master of the acolytes, Miss Master of this monks, head of the monks. Boy, come here, he called, trying to rise with my stiffened legs. I pitched forward onto my face. He was trying to rise, but because of the stiffness of his leg, he was falling forward. boy, if you want a rest, you can stay there to another night. He's telling like, if you can't come, then you can stay there tonight. I don't have any issue. I shall not wait longer. He's telling, that's what, like, as soon as the command, they have to obey it. It's not like, okay, sir, I'll come after 1 minute, 2 minutes. No, there is no such kind of things which we use it with our moms or parents nowadays, isn't it? Mom, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. No, there is no such kind of thing. He's telling, as soon as the command has done, I mean, what is the command here? Boy, come here. I shall not wait longer. Hastily, I grabbed my bundle and tottered towards him. He's telling, like, I grabbed all my belongings and I went towards him. Enter, he said, and attend evening service, then see me in the morning. He's telling, enter into this. Okay, now you got admission. That's what it meant. Okay, attend the evening service. There's service, some kind of service. We'll see what it is. Go attend it and then see me in the morning. Come and see me in the morning. It was warm inside. He's telling, there outside is very cold, isn't it? It's Tibet. In Lhasa, it's like 12,000 feet high. It's very cold, but inside it's warm. And there was a comforting smell of incense. This incense, this kind of a good smell of this incense sticks. My hunger sharpened senses told me there was food quite near. He was able to smell the food as well. He's telling, somewhere the food is close nearby. So I followed a crowd moving to the right. Food, sampa, butter, tea. He's telling, the food is staple food. What is sampa and butter tea is the standard thing. I edged my way to the front row as I had a lifetime of practice. Monks made ineffectual grabs at my pigtail. So many of them, because he had his pigtail, right? Pigtail means like a small braid. They will be there. They have left at the back of his pony. So that will pigtail. They were pulling his pigtail. As I scrambled between the legs, because he's 7 years old boy, he's very short in his height when compared to the other people. So he was going across them below their legs, and he was going there because he's feeling very hungry. He can't stay in the queue and get the food. But I was after food and nothing was going to stop me. He said, like, I want the food and nothing is going to stop me. Feeling a little better with some food inside me, I followed the crowd to the inner temple and to the evening service. He said, like, he had the food. Now I'm feeling a little better. Okay. I was too tired to know anything about it, but no one took any notice of me. He's telling, like, no one took any notice of me. I did not want to know what this evening service is. As the monks filed out, I slipped behind a giant pillar and stretched out on the stone floor with my bundle beneath my head. I slept. He's telling, like, I did not want to know what it is about this evening thing. I just went there. I had my food, I was feeling sleepy. So I put my bundle. So what was there? It's like a robe, extra robe and everything, that kind of thing. I put under his head and he slept. Okay, here I will stop, masters. Let me stop the share. Okay, I see Gautam has raised his hand. Yes, Gautam?
I feel like this is a little bit like Gautam Buddha. He also used to do this type of meditations, sitting for a long time and days.
Yes.
This is something like him.
Yes, we'll see how it is. No, so here, like this boy, he did not want, because this boy did not want to sit into meditation. He was forced to sit, isn't it? Here, it's a little different. Yes. Yes, good comparison, Gautam. Yes, good. So any feedbacks, masters, before we go into the questions, which you all like? Any feedback? Any feedback? Yes? No? Yes, Mukund? Unmute yourself.
Very good session.
Is it? Are you happy? At least he got admitted into the Lamasery.
Yeah, but I would be more happier if we continue the session more.
You want to continue with the session? The time is it's only 1 hour, right? Like otherwise you guys will be bored. So I want your excitement. That's the reason. Every day 1 hour. So I understand your excitement because you want to know what is going to happen, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mukund. Yes, Gautam?
Where exactly do they keep the essential stuff?
See, we'll
Like
see
this
how.
cupboard?
We'll see. Let's see when it goes further. I think they will describe. They will let us know where they can keep their belongings and how, because the training and everything, how it is inside the lamasery. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? If not, then let me see what questions I can ask you.
What I see. Wow. You know how to get call.
Okay, let me mute everyone. Okay. So the question, what can I ask? Okay. How old is Lobsang Rampa when he entered the lamasery? Raise your hands. I will choose. Okay, because I've seen a given let's go with Aradhan, because let's see, he has not spoken yet. Aradhan, yes?
Hello?
Yes, Aradhan, we can hear you.
He's 7 years old when he entered that.
Yes, yes, good job, good job. Thank you. Next, let's see. Okay, how many days was he in the lamasery? Was he on the ground? Like on what day was he being admitted into the lamasery? Okay, Joshua? Yes, Joshua? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Three days. Yes, yes. Why am I not able to hear you? Your beautiful voice. Okay. Now next question. So what did the old monk, the old monk who came to Lobsang Rampa every night, he was giving some food to eat. What was it? Next in the chance now, Heathal. I'll give the chance to Heathal. Yes, Heathal?
Old monk came and gave him some sambar and tea.
Sampa and tea. Yes, Sampa. Very good. Very good, Heathal. Now, what can we ask? Next question. Okay. So on the first, so these 3 days, where was he lying? Like, did he had a bed and was he lying in pain with everyone, or was he alone lying on this bare ground with the dark? With the sounds, which he was little frightful about it. Where was he sleeping? Okay, now Gautam, yeah, and you can go ahead.
He was alone and scared of what will come in future.
Yes, he was scared.
Because if he fails, I don't think his life is really settled down.
Yes.
It's
yes.
all going crazy.
True, true. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Gautam. So, well, next question. When the boys were kicking the stones, so what did you think? It's not about this. Like, how do you think? So, is it a right way to do that? Like for a kid, like if someone is waiting, if it is a test, those group of kids will come and they'll throw the dust. They will pick a stone and flick at him. Is it the right way or not? Tell us. Like I'll give an choice for everyone. So I'll come across everyone. Okay. Let us be quick. Okay. First goes with Mukul. Yes, Mukul, unmute yourself.
It's very rude. If it's in a test, it should not be allowed at Lamasery, and it should have supervision.
Good. Thank you, Mukund. Next comes Heetal.
It will be very disturbing for the Rampa, and also it will be very rude.
True. Thank you, Heetal. Aradhan. Aradhan, unmute yourself. I see your screen is freeze, Aradhan. Okay. Aradhan, yes, go ahead. Okay. There is some connectivity issue, I think. Okay, Gautam, yeah, your feedback?
He felt quite lonely. He was a little afraid of the dark, I think.
Yes. And those kids, how do you feel like? Were they supposed to do that or not? Like kicking the rocks, pebbles at him? Is it a good way?
It is not a good way, but it is a way to challenge him and challenge the test of patience. But I don't think it's the proper way.
Yeah, it's not a proper way, isn't it? Because the head monks are already giving their a test for him. So it's like the other kids, at least they can do their own job instead of disturbing others, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you, Gautam. Sir, Gangadhar sir, you want to talk anything? You want to convey something? Okay. I think this is all for Crystal Children Corner. Okay. It's a mic problem. Okay, sir. Understood, sir. Okay. Okay, friends, Master. So let's all end the session here for today. We'll meet tomorrow again at the same time, and we'll see how it goes. Like inside the lab. Now he got the admission into the Lamasery, but we'll see how. So what is there awaiting for him? Okay. So come along tomorrow, and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time, and we'll discuss. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.